سوف نبقى هنا حتى يزول القهر سوف نبقى هنا حتى ننال النصر سوف نبقى هنا حتى يزول القهر سوف نبقى هنا حتى ننال النصر.
What you just heard was a song called Salfuna Nakab Haya, a popular revolutionary chant, or what's referred to as a nasheed in Arabic. It is translated to, "We will stay here, so the pain goes away, we will stay here, the melody will sweeten, my land, my land." It's a nasheed of resistance, freedom, and change during the 2011 Libyan revolution. A song that united those who sang it in the hope that Libya would become an unrestricted and unified state in the future. Fast forward 6 years later, and a different chant is being heard for freedom. This time from the African migrants in Libya being transported and bought as slaves. The Libyan state has failed its people. After the fall of Gaddafi, Libya has been in shambles, a country torn in civil wars and constant attacks from ISIS. With a failed state come smugglers, human trafficking, and now modern-day slave trade. This is a reflection of how dysfunctional the state has become since the 2011 Libyan revolution. The Libyan slave trade controversy was exposed just back in November 2017 when a video published by CNN reportedly showed African migrants being showcased by auctioneers as if they were property, as smugglers sell them to the highest bidder, some for as little as $400 each. The main question is, how did Libya get to this point? Here's what Theon Naiga, political activist and co-founder of Acorn Lighting Africa, had to say during an interview on MSNBC.
And this is something that's been going on around the continent for a while now. People have been talking about it for a long time. I myself traveled to the other part in last year I did, and also went to those camps and visited actually in the Italian side those young people who went through these same problems that we're talking about today. It's because there's a lot of issues that's going on. Here in Africa today, you have the youngest population in the world. More than 200 million young people live in the continent. And these young people have no education, no opportunities, no access to healthcare, no access to, basically their future is very, very blurry for them. And then when they look at social media to see what's going on to their counterparts around the world, they want to live like that. And they're risking their lives basically to take these boats and try to cross on the other side, chasing a dream sometimes that doesn't exist. And this is the reason why you have hundreds of thousands. The UN has told us that 150,000 young people has crossed this past year, and 3,000 of them has died. We've been sharing on social media that's what's been going on. But until CNN came out and talked about it, nobody really wanted to act on it. Since the Libya issue, when you had NATO that dismantled what happened in Libya with the leadership of Gaddafi, then after that you have a country that's empty there with no leadership, basically not a state that's been able to control what's going on. So in the result of that, you have smugglers, you have human trafficking, and now to slavery. And this is something that the whole world is watching, and very little is being done.
Yeah.
Starting here in Africa with the leadership that we have. What you see today in Libya is failed leadership of African leadership here in Africa first, and then it's a global issue that needs a global problem. Everybody.
Yeah.
Before the fall of Libya, it was a functioning state that played a huge role in holding back illegal migrants from crossing the Mediterranean Sea to reach Europe in crisis. Many of these migrants are fleeing their countries to escape poverty and violence, to seek better opportunities in Europe. According to Emmanuel Sukoma, a national reporter at MSNBC, the country's 1,100-mile coastline has effectively become an open border without government forces to monitor who comes and who goes. Smugglers have filled the void, willing to tightly pack hundreds of migrants at a time into flimsy vessels and shuttle them to Italy. According to the International Organization for Migration, it estimated that nearly 182,000 migrants from Libya have landed in Italy between the years of 2013 and 2014, exacerbating a massive refugee crisis already spilling out of Syria and other parts of the Middle East. Now that the video of African migrants being sold has gone viral, what has the international community done? So far, the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said in response to the video that he was horrified at the findings and called for immediate investigations. Secretary-General Guterres said, "I abhor these appalling acts and call upon all competent authorities to investigate these activities without delay and to bring the perpetrators to justice." Gutierrez said, "I have asked the relevant United Nations actors to actively pursue this matter, urging the international community to unite on the issue." The UN chief called on all countries to adapt the UN Convention against Transnational Organized Crime and its Protocol on Human Trafficking. The story on Libya provides the international community a reminder of the need to manage migration flows in a humane manner that addresses the root causes. Many countries, since the release of the viral video, have condemned inhumane actions that are taking place in Libya. However, the story is still developing. There hasn't been a concrete plan to eradicate the illegal actions since it is still under investigation. Libya, the first domino that fell, causing an unfortunate chain reaction that is still progressing throughout Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. The Libyan Revolution in 2011 was intended to be a turning point in African history. But this is not how the Libyan citizens imagined it. They envisioned progress and chanted songs of democracy and equality. Today, it is quite the opposite.